So we'll move on to a new question. This is very important. Warm or cold pizza?
So I'm going to assume they don't mean fresh pizza immediately from the shop, which is obviously warm. I think assume they mean after you've had the pizza and you've put it in the fridge.
Yeah.
Do you reheat it?
It's not. Do you order your pizza and at request they don't cook it?
Maybe there's a gap in the market though. Maybe there could be a cold pizza store.
I want raw dough.
Yeah.
I want unsliced tomatoes.
No, it's just like it would be like
some wheat right?
we deliver you all the ingredients to,
So
to
the
make
next
a pizza.
day, while I will,
IKEA.
I will sometimes heat pizza and some flavors are better hot. I think I generally prefer. I actually will happily eat the slice of pizza cold. I
This
think
is
happily or
leftover,
more
right,
happily?
yeah.
there are flavors which I think actually come out better when it's been left for a day and it's cold.
Really?
Does that also mean that there are flavors that are better when they're warm?
For some pizzas, yeah. But generally, I'd actually say cold over
is it
warm.
cold? Severn?
I'm a cold pizza guy.
Blake?
Yeah, I prefer cold.
You're all wrong. The answer is warm.
You microwave? You're a microwaver?
I microwave, but I recently got into rebaking.
Rebaking?
See, I think you lose something that dries out and
It gets crisper.
it gets crisper, which is worse.
It's. I don't think it's worse. It's definitely different.
Right, and if you have some crazy method where you keep it moist or whatever, then
man.
that's a whole level of crazy
Yeah.
I wouldn't do. The whole point is you open the fridge and you pick the pizza
Yep.
up and
Now-
you go,
Yep.
it's amazing how it tastes good the next day.
It tastes.
and
The
it's
thing is,
cold.
I think it's like it's transformed into a different food.
If you're not burning the roof of your mouth with that hot cheese,
So I have
you're not
another
enjoying the
question for
pizza.
you. Fried chicken.
Yep.
If you have it left over the next day, cold or warm.
Warm.
Man, it's so good cold.
No.
I actually
I
do
don't
it
like-
cold as well.
Now,
Yeah,
also,
yeah,
hang
same.
on.
I
I
don't
want
like
to
to
point this
reheat
out.
fried
that.
chicken.
Last week,
Reheating it is also kind of gross. You just remember how gross it was.
last week, I was making coffee or something, and Blake walked over to the fridge and grabbed a container of the leftover Chinese food.
Yep.
And started eating it straight out of the fridge.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's just
So I feel like it doesn't matter. You can substitute any food in
So
there,
for
and Blake's going to say
leftover
cold.
Chinese food, warm or cold, I go with no.
Just
you don't eat Chinese
No.
food the next day.
I love leftover Chinese food, but again, you got to heat it to the point where you're burning your hand if you touch it.
I disagree on that one as well. I'll have
Is there
leftover
any
Chinese food.
Is there
cold.
any food you won't have cold?
I actually don't know. I haven't found one yet.
Soup?
I'm not a fan of soup in general.
Oh my god, soup is amazing.
I don't have leftover soup.
Soup's
Soup doesn't
awesome.
last long enough with me to have leftover.
Don't you like getting soup belly?
I've never had a soup. What is that?
Soup belly is when you have a whole bunch of soup, and then your stomach feels all warm and good.
And when you move, you
go
can
home,
hear
you're
it going, glug, glug, glug.
It's like winter,
No,
yum.
that's I like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be like, oh, the soup. I'm halfway through the soup. I better put this in the fridge for later. I'll just finish the soup. It's soup.
Yes. But what if you get too much soup?
There's one can of soup is all you need.
Well, here's your first problem. You're having cans of soup. You go and get a nice soup from somewhere. Like you go like a wonton
it's a chunky
soup.
it's a chunky soup. It's a
At that
good,
point, it's barely even a soup. It's just
probably
a
why I
food.
like it.
It's just basically bread with it's damp.
Probably why I like it the most.
Coming from a household which, when soup is cooked, it is cooked in giant pots.
Yeah.
Of course it's warm, because that's how you de-ice it. You have to eat it, because all soup gets frozen and gets made in these giant pots, and then you stick it in your ice cream containers and your honey containers, and you throw it in the freezer.
Are there foods that are better frozen?
Ice cream.
Have you ever had melted ice cream? Like, have you ever intentionally melted out ice cream so it's like
I've melted it. I've
you
melted
drink
it
out of the bowl?
No, that's a milkshake.
No, that's different. That's
What
different
about,
again.
I actually like ice cream just as it's at that transition state.
I do like it. Yeah, I
You
do
know,
like it when
when the edges have started to melt and it's just
yeah.
super smooth ice cream. But
When it's
I'll
too
often-
hard is
the rest of my family is
spoon.
definitely ice cold only.
Right.
Must be
Okay.
completely frozen.
I'll often eat half of it like as it's cold, and then I'll stop and I'll just sort of stir it until it's kind of soupy.
So,
And then, admittedly, that's the one soup I don't have warm.
an ice cream soup.
Ice cream soup. Of course.
You put some gumdrops in there.
So I can't imagine a cold soup being